When you encounter another person on your path, a stranger, a colleague, a partner, and they are navigating their world unaware of their own inner compass and unattuned to the currents around them, a disconnect often occurs. Their energy becomes scattered. There's a path to finding clarity in these interactions, a way of seeing that moves beyond the surface. I want to explore this path with you because it contains a truly transformative insight I've found others overlook. It's the subtle yet profound distinction between perception and perspective. Indeed, these two ways of seeing are part of the same family of awareness. Understanding the nature of each is a deeply clarifying practice. It's a distinction many may not have paused to consider, yet holds the key to so much. So let us examine this for a moment. Perception and perspective. Of course, these are two words often used as if they are one and the same, much like people might confuse being busy with being productive. But their meanings flow in different directions. Just as there is a profound difference between outer noise and inner silence, the same deep distinction exists here. Perception is the world you see from a single, fixed point. It is how you view life through your own window. Imagine you are sitting behind the wheel of your car. The sky is bright, and you feel that a sunny day is a positive one. You notice the vehicle ahead of you seems to be still, because the space between you is not changing. This is your immediate reality. This is perception, the world interpreted from where you stand alone. Perspective, on the other hand, is the journey you take to see the world from another's viewpoint. It is the conscious choice to step away from your own window and imagine what the world looks like from theirs. Consider the person who delivers a package to your door. From your perception, they simply arrive, leave an item, and disappear. Their presence is a brief moment in your day, and your thought is only of the object they brought. But true understanding asks more. Where did this person begin their journey today? Where will they go next? That man or woman carries a whole story with them. Perhaps they could not find your home easily. Perhaps the package was heavy. Perhaps they are rushing to their next destination. They hold all of this information. When you learn to move your awareness from your limited perception to their expansive perspective, you begin to see the whole landscape of a situation. You receive a richer understanding of reality. The individual who remains trapped in their own perception is like someone trying to understand a river by only looking at a single ripple. They are so consumed by their own thoughts. When will this moment end? What do I need next? That they miss the wisdom of the current itself. The person who cannot feel the energy of a room is someone held captive by their own perception. This is a powerful gateway. For everyone listening, stay with this feeling for a moment. In our journey of self-cultivation and growth, there are very few insights that can open up an entirely new way of being. This is one of them. It is what we might call changing the lens through which you see. Imagine this. You look into a mirror, expecting to see your own reflection for a moment of self-assessment. But instead, the image that appears is not of you, but of how another person sees you. Perhaps someone you care for deeply. And a powerful feeling arises. You are no longer just seeing yourself. You are experiencing how you are experienced by another. You might begin to question, for the first time, how your presence truly feels to them. Over all the years, how many times have you walked into a room and offered a greeting, yet failed to truly listen to their unspoken needs? How often have you spoken, but not asked about their own life, their own inner world? When you begin to apply this to all your relationships, you start to see with new eyes. By changing this inner lens, you may find that this is a practice you've known intuitively all along. It's why some people have a natural gift for creating harmony and connection. They don't see every interaction only from their side of the river. This, for many, is the great unseen obstacle preventing them from moving forward, from nurturing the relationships they desire. They wonder, why can I not connect as I should? Why do my intentions not land? Why does this feel blocked? It is because they see everything through their own narrow lens. It is a profound lack of awareness, an inability to shift from perception to perspective. So, how can one begin to cultivate this practice in daily life? You have already named some of the most vital spaces for this work. A job interview, a crucial meeting with a client, a delicate negotiation, a first date, or even the moment you decide to commit to a partner for life. All of these are fertile ground to apply this framework, to, in your words, flip the lens. If you can, in that moment, even for just a few breaths of time, stop and ask, what does this moment feel like for them? You gain a profound ability to help shape that moment for the benefit of all. You can sense what needs to be said, or what simply needs to be felt. You begin to feel the unspoken current in the room, what they are looking for, what reassurances they need. Until you step out of your own perception and into their perspective, you cannot truly know what is needed. So, how does one practice this? One of the most straightforward methods is a simple exercise of quiet reflection, something we often use to bring clarity. Imagine anyone who is significant in your life. It could be your child, your leader, a colleague, or your partner. Take a piece of paper and draw a line down the center. On one side of the paper, write down all the qualities you strive to embody for that person. You try to be supportive. You try to be clear. You try to be patient. You try to be present. Then, on the other side of the paper, you must undertake the honest task of seeing through their eyes. I try to be patient, but what does my child experience? My child often sees me as rushed. They experience my mind as being elsewhere. They witness me become short with their other parent. They see me leaving before the sun rises, or returning after they are asleep. Suddenly, you see that on one side of the paper is your intention, and on the other side is their reality. What you think you are giving is very different from what they are actually receiving. When you can see this gap clearly on a piece of paper, it starts to awaken a real-time awareness within you. You must first see the disharmony on the outside before you can start to feel and correct it from the inside. This is the heart of cultivating true intelligence. Just last night, I was in this very room, speaking with two young men I care for deeply. They are in their 20s now, an age where they believe they seek unfiltered wisdom. And they asked me, what do you see that might be holding me back from my potential? As I began to offer my honest thoughts to one of them, I was also watching the energy of the other. And I could feel a point where my words crossed a line, a boundary of his emotional comfort for what he was hearing. But because I had shifted my awareness and was listening to the conversation from his side of the experience, I sensed the exact moment the energy shifted. I felt where I had overstepped, and I was able to pivot, soften my approach, and guide the energy back into a supportive space. This is a profoundly important skill in all of your relationships, from your work to your home. It also takes the immense pressure off of you. Seeing from their viewpoint brings ease, not strain. The inner work being shared around this topic is on the leading edge of human connection. It has my complete support and love. Now, one area I was not naturally gifted in was knowing when I was in the presence of disharmony or insincerity. I had a habit, like many, of assuming others operated from the same center as I did. So, I am often surprised I've made it this far on my journey with a limited natural ability to detect a fundamental lack of alignment or when another's intentions are not pure. Wisdom traditions believe that all people are born with an inner intuitive capacity. For some, it manifests as an ability to build bridges. For others, a gift for seeing untruths. For some, a magnetic ability to inspire. There is a deep, hidden current of strength within you. How, then, can a person learn to know when they are being met with insincerity? How can you tell when the words you hear are not aligned with the heart that speaks them? Let me begin by sharing what is often not reliable. Much of what you may see online about watching for fleeting facial movements, what are sometimes called micro-expressions, is largely a distraction in everyday life. It is not grounded for the real world. Here is why. It is not because the teachers of these methods are fraudulent. Many are authentically trained in specialized fields. They are correct that such expressions can be a tool for detecting dissonance. What is often left unsaid, however, is that you can only truly rely on those signs when you are in what could be called a controlled or confined setting. When you have complete authority over the environment, and the person across from you feels they have no freedom to leave. That is the only time these fleeting physical signals become clear. When they can simply walk away, when you are talking with someone in an office or a coffee shop. All of that becomes unreliable because they do not feel under imminent pressure. For the body to betray the mind in that way, a person must feel trapped, which is not the state of our normal interactions. That path does not work for us. Instead, the wisdom we can apply in the field of our own lives is different. We operate on the street, in the heart of daily existence, on another's home ground. This is much more aligned with everyday life. For detecting disharmony, you are looking for what is known as a person's baseline, their natural rhythm. And then, you look for a deviation from that rhythm. Let me offer an example. You know your dentist. You visit them perhaps twice a year. Over the last few appointments, you have developed a sense of their natural state, their usual mood and energy. You would know immediately, upon sitting in the chair, if your dentist came in and was in a state of distress. You would feel it because it is a deviation from their baseline. You can apply this same principle to people you are in business with, people you are connecting with, anyone who enters your life. You must observe them over a little time to feel what their baseline behavior is. Perhaps they are naturally restless. Perhaps they are always on time. Maybe they speak very quickly, or perhaps they are naturally quiet. Whatever their normal state is, you will start to feel that pattern over time. A few minutes is not enough. Anyone can hold a mask for a few minutes. It is very hard for someone to maintain an unnatural state for an hour. It requires immense energy. Once you have a sense of their baseline, their natural flow, you are simply watching for breaks in that flow. So, when you are speaking with someone, perhaps negotiating a purchase, and they have been flowing with a very smooth and easy energy the whole time, then you introduce a new element, a request for a 15% discount. Suddenly, the smooth energy vanishes. They hesitate. They struggle for words and then respond with something that feels forced. I don't think we can do that. That's just too much. That is likely a moment of untruth because their entire energetic baseline deviated. If, however, they had responded immediately and within their natural rhythm, saying, I understand you're looking for that discount, but that's a bit beyond what our guiding principles allow. Chances are that is an honest answer, because it was delivered from their normal state. When you see a person deviate from their natural rhythm, that is the clearest way to tell that what they are saying and what they are feeling have become disconnected.